Hey everybody, Harry here, and my last day of quarantine, I guess, because I go back to work tomorrow. I've had 11 days off from work because my wife had surgery, eye surgery, and they had postponed it. But anyways, it's all good. She turned out fine. Her eye's a little bit sore though, Had to reattach her retina on her right eye. So, anyways, we're here to talk about the films that were my favorite films from the year that I was born, 1966. And we already done, let's see, we already done Ian's, 1981. We did James, 1974, and now mine, and then I think it's Jay, and then it'll be Bob and Michael next. So try a little bit something different here. I'm not going to go into descriptions of the films. I'll show you the theatrical posters of the films, and they're not in any particular order. They're not like by uh, top 10 films of 10 and 10 to 9 to 8, whatever. These are just all the films the 10 films that I loved from the year 1966 when I was born. So first one here, hope you can see it, is Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Richard Burton, Liz Taylor, uh, George Segal, Sandy Dennis. Crazy alcoholic driven movie. And first time I saw this was on VHS back in the day. Um, Rented it from the library, and it was directed by Mike Nichols. Actually had a real life counter with this the other day, where you had to go to Jacksonville and stay at a hotel at night because my wife's surgery was early in the morning. And in the room we got this couple was just going on about arguing and saying, the wife says, what kind of man are you? You never was you never cared nothing but nothing about me, but all about yourself. Blah 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 blah. Both been drinking. Then she started singing songs from the '90s, and so we had to complain, and we got moved. Thank goodness. Yeah, crazy times. So that was the first thing when I heard that. That was the first movie that came into my mind. So, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? The other one came out the year I was born. Our Man Flint. Sorry for the glare. And that's James Coburn, Lee J. Cobb, Gilda Golan, Edward Mulhare. Spoof on James Bond movies. Um, Fun, a lot of girls, scantily dressed girls, silly plot line, but fun to watch. Our Man Flint. It was directed by Daniel Mann and released by 20th Century Fox. And it says coming soon adult as censors Ontario Board of Censors Adult Entertainment is considered adult entertainment, I guess, because of the women, scantily dressed women and stuff in that film. Next one, the movie that won Best Picture for 1966, The Man for All Seasons. Watched this last year for the first time. Rented it on Netflix, the DVD, and what a great film! I love those films. Seems there was a lot around that time about this. This had Wendy Hiller, Leo McKern, Robert Shaw, Orson Welles, Susanna York in it as well. It stars Nigel Davenport, John Hurt, and Corin Redgrave. And directed by Fred Zinnemann. Great film about the King Henry. the 8th, and crazy stuff. Next one, Ingmar Bergman's film Persona with Liv Ullmann and Bibi Andersson. That came out in 1966. That was another favorite one of mine. Saw that last year too for the first time. I've been renting movies off of Netflix, the DVDs, and watching some Ingmar Bergman films that I haven't watched. I quite like him and Akira Kurosawa. That's how I was able to do them. Instead of buying blind buys on Criterion and spending $25-30 on a film, I rent them first and see if I like them, then I'll buy them. I haven't bought any Akira Kurosawa or Ingmar Bergman films yet, but I will. But I did buy Tokyo Story because that was a rental, and then I wound up buying it, and that was Oshu film. Ozu. Next one. This was on somebody's list. The Sand Pebbles. Steve McQueen, the man Steve McQueen. Long ass movie, but great film. Murphy Brown's in it. It's Candice Bergen. Richard Attenborough, Richard Crenna as well. Sand Pebbles, and good long film. Navy guy winds up in China and fighting stuff. Nice action. Like I said, long movie. Steve McQueen's the man. He had another film out which they talked about too, was Nevada Smith, which was a good film as well, but it didn't make my top 10 films. This one here I watched last night again. I watched it originally on TCM back in the day. The Fortune Cookie with Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, in their first pairing with Billy Wilder film. It was crazy black comedy movie about Walter Matthau's Whiplash Willie, and he's a ambulance chaser lawyer. Jack Lemmon was at a football game. He was a cameraman and got knocked down during the football game, fell over the tarpaulin, and so Walter Matthau seen big money, so he fakes this whole thing. Pretty funny, pretty good film. Also, next one, El Dorado, John Wayne and Robert Mitchum, James Caan. Now some say this came out in '67, but I looked and it said '66. So maybe somebody will correct me. But El Dorado, good western remake of Rio Bravo. I think John Wayne made 2 remakes of that. Similar stories. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Clint Eastwood, Eli Wallach, and Lee Van Cleef. No, don't have to say anything about that film. Everybody should know that one. It came out the year I was born. Spaghetti Western. Batman the movie. The shark, the rubber shark on Adam West's leg. That just got it for me. And the bomb scene, the longest running fuse on a bomb. And Alfie, which I hadn't heard anybody mention. Michael Caine as Alfie. Everybody knows the song by Cilla Black. And then I think the English version, English release had Cilla Black singing Alfie, and then Cher did it, and Dionne Warwick singing "What's It All About, Alfie." Julia Foster, Jane Asher, Paul McCartney's former love interest, girlfriend at the time. Her brother is Peter Asher. Shirley Ann Field, Vivian Merchant, Eleanor Braun, who played in Help with the Beatles, and Shelley Winters as well. So those are the films, my favorite films from the year 1966, the year I was born. Just they mentioned a movie called The Professionals, which I had never seen. I bought that. It came in today on Blu-ray, so I'll be watching that soon. And I got the Fortune Cookie the other day, Twilight Time. Thanks, Jay. Thank God the Twilight Time still has a sale going on certain movies, so I got that one in Panic and Needle Park with Al Pacino, which I had never seen, and looking forward to watching. Anyways, next week I believe it's Jay's 1971. Be a good year, as all these have been good years, and looking forward to seeing their videos. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye bye.